Special Stage 27 of the Thousand Lakes Rally. Mikael Ericsson is behind the wheel of Mitsubishi's brand new Galant VR4. Ahead of him, the dominant Toyota Celica GT4 piloted by the legendary Carlos Sainz is carving up the gravel road. As the Galant gets up to speed, its all-wheel control system keeps Ericsson just close enough to turn the tide of this competition. All he needs is the correct opportunity to arise. Our story begins, well, in the middle. The Galant as a model for Mitsubishi had been in production since 1969, but was altogether overlooked in favor of the smaller Lancer chassis. It wasn't until 1987, when Mitsubishi wished to join the upcoming 1988 World Rally Championship, that they would shift their focus and resources to the Galant. I consider this to be the beginning of Mitsubishi's golden era. To find out why, first we'll have to know, what makes it so great? Group A FIA regulations stipulated that 5,000 homologated civilian models of a rally chassis must be made available and sold by the manufacturer in order to compete in the World Rally Championship. That's what brought us such cool cars as the Toyota Celica GT4, the Subaru Legacy Turbo. Go check out the channel for my own piece of rally history. And the 6th generation Galant VR4. VR4 stands for Viscous Real-Time 4-Wheel Drive, a type of fluid coupling that allows grip to be sent to the front and rear wheels, depending on which end of the car has the best traction in that moment. But VR4 was just a part of the entire Dynamic 4 package. Handling was assisted by the inclusion of a 4-wheel steering system, 4-wheel anti-locking brakes, and 4-wheel independent suspension. Power was provided by a brand new 4G63 turbo engine. This double overhead cam 2-liter engine pumped out a respectable 200 to 230 horsepower. Flashing back hours ago, the dominant Lancia Delta, a Toyota Celica, and another Mitsubishi Galant were forced to retire from the Thousand Lakes Rally due to engine troubles. Mikael Ericsson finishes Special Stage number 20 with a glimmer of hope of taking home victory. In the overall classification for the race, he's tied with Sainz to the exact second. Those who know the Galant know its time in the spotlight was short-lived. With the introduction of the smaller and lighter Lancer Evolution in 1992, the Galant VR4 was made obsolete and no longer competed in the World Rally Championship. Instead of forgetting about the chassis, Mitsubishi instead decided to lean into the car's strengths. The larger chassis of the 7th generation Galant provided room for a larger engine. The VR4 now shipped with a 6A12 twin turbo, a 2-liter double overhead cam V6 pushing a smoother 230 horsepower through the same Dynamic 4 transmission and handling package. This shifted the Galant from a rough rally car to a civilized sports sedan made specifically for the streets. Back in stage 27, Ericsson continues to push the engine of his Galant to the limit to make up any time he can. Around the high-speed corners of the late stages, he's catching up. Ahead, Sainz is aware of the Galant's superior high-speed handling and is beginning to play into riskier ventures. He cuts a corner a little deeper here, brakes a little later there, and eventually, for the final generation of the Galant VR4, Mitsubishi pulled out all the stops. The V6 engine got a displacement increase to 2.5 liters, bringing power all the way up to the Japanese manufacturer's gentleman agreement of 276 horsepower. The automatic model got an upgrade to a gear-selectable Tiptronics transmission, and the higher trim Type S and Type V featured active yaw control differentials alongside stability and traction control. Carlos Sainz's race is as good as over. He manages to get back on the road, but Mikael Ericsson propels the ever-quick Galant across the finish line 3 minutes ahead. Ericsson just needs to keep it together enough to finish the remaining stages, and he has a good chance of winning the Thousand Lakes. It's between him and the gravel now. If we follow the Mitsubishi family tree, the Galant VR4 is more of a bastard child than a grandfather. Mitsubishi originally planned their great return to motorsports around the legendary Group B rally class. Their plan was to develop an advanced four-wheel drive system for their two-door Starion chassis based off of the four-wheel drive system from the Pajero SUV. With Group B's abrupt ending of competition, the Starion was left without a class to compete in. With this, Mitsubishi cannibalized the four-wheel drive system from the Starion, improved upon it, and gifted the world with the Galant VR4. With Carlos Sainz and two-time Thousand Lakes winner Timo Salonen hot on his tail, Mikael Ericsson has to be smooth, quick, and most importantly, balanced. The Galant VR4 propels him along doing just that. He finishes another stage in P1, then another P1, another, and suddenly he pulls up to the podium of the final stage in first place. Under a showering of champagne, Mikael Ericsson revels in his second ever rally victory. Adjacent to him, he has the Mitsubishi Galant VR4 to thank. Don't let its square lines and subdued shape fool you. Today, the Galant is viewed not as a bastard child, but a gentle grandfather to the Lancer Evolution chassis that has stolen the hearts of so many. It's one of the greatest Japanese sports sedans ever made, and I hope it has earned your respect. I hope you discovered what makes it so great. Shout out to my current patron, the Money Badger, and my past contributors, Cytex, JoyJ, and Dan. If you like my videos and want to catch unseen and early content, go take a look at my Patreon. Other than that, I thank you very much for watching.